Yo, what's up everybody? This is Sumi from the Bulletin. We are on episode 3 and I'm happy to welcome in a special guest, SubTheGamer. SubTheGamer, he has 272,000 subscribers on YouTube. Talk about a little bit what's on your channel.
On my channel you get to see a lot of basketball, primarily NBA 2K. So you'll get a lot of NBA 2K gameplay along with real life gameplay, a lot of NBA discussions, pretty much everything about basketball.
Yeah, so I was going through his YouTube page, and I know you shot the commercial with 2K in the beginning. You met a few players. Why don't you talk about which players you met?
So one player that I got to meet, and it was for the commercial for 2K15, was MVP for 2015, Kevin Durant. And
Nice.
It was actually cool back then, but now
Now
Kevin Durant is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but at least you can say you met former MVP, but you also met Karl Anthony Towns, am I right?
Yeah, so this past summer, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, so that was really cool.
Yeah, and you also met, I'm trying to think of all the people who I've seen in the past. You met Bill Simmons?
Bill Simmons, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I'm a long-time follower of SubTheGamer. Just a little background of SubTheGamer. I've known Sub for a long time. I met him in college. So we go back. So I'm really happy of where he's been. So is there any future plans for your YouTube page or anything different you want to try moving forward?
One big thing that a lot of people always tell me to do is expand the channel in terms of more than just basketball. So move on to more real life things, vlogs, maybe brand new games. So that's definitely something
Nice.
that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, all that stuff very important, definitely. All right, so like me, I think Sub is a really, really, really big Bulls fan. I remember we would talk about the Bulls before, Die Hard or anything like that. We would talk about the Bulls all the time. So I know his opinion. I actually value his opinion a lot. This is one of the biggest Bulls fans I know. And separately, one of the biggest Derrick Rose fans I know. And then also one of the biggest Kobe fans I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
All three in one. All right, so we're going to talk about the Bulls a little bit and their struggles. But before I get to that, I want to congratulate the Chicago Cubs. I'm wearing the hat right now. It was a amazing experience to witness it. We're all lucky. A lot of people lived and died waiting for them to win a championship, so a World Series. So it was a big moment. You watched it, am I right?
I did. Crazy game.
Yeah.
Crazy game.
And whether you're a baseball fan or not, it was like a transcending moment. So I think we're all very blessed to witness that. All right, so getting into some, I guess, Bulls talk. Before we get to the struggles, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're one of the biggest Derrick Rose fans that I know, do you think they should retire his jersey in Chicago?
Why not? First MVP since Michael Jordan. The fact that when Michael Carter Williams actually was going to have the number of Derrick Rose, the outlash of the fans just proved that nobody's going to be okay getting that number. Might as well just retire it.
But didn't you think it was weird how he didn't care about when he gave a quote, he said that he didn't know and he didn't really care when Michael Carter Williams was about to take his number.
He didn't care, but the fans, including myself, cared. So I guess it's just.
I thought it was a crazy outlash. Initially when they announced it, Michael Carter Williams I was in downtown and I look at my phone and I'm like, wait, really? He's really gonna be number one? I thought it was weird, but when I saw the backlash of it, I was like, man, this is I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. To a point where social media, really influence a person's decision, and you could tell it wasn't something he was pondering. Oh, let me be the number one jersey. He's like, I'm gonna be number one, and all of a sudden he backtracked and nothing's final yet. So I thought it was pretty crazy.
The crazy part is that the fact that with so much backlash, he still got booed on Friday, which makes no sense.
Right. And speaking of, I did a little vlog, I guess you can put it, after the game, when I went to the game. I was really surprised he got booed. When I was telling him earlier today, when I got to the arena, I heard booing, and I just could not believe. I had to check my phone almost to see is it me who's hearing the booing, or is it just because you hear some cheers too? I guess you could hear boos over cheers, You know, so I mean, I thought that was weird how Joakim Noah was getting cheered when he left on his own, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what really blew my mind. And yeah.
Right. So getting to the Bulls' struggle. First of all, do you like the roster we have going right now?
I do love this roster. It's like it reminds me of the bench mob, if you will, too, with the bench. And obviously the starters, they're awesome.
Do you think losing MCW the last 3 games, so with him they won 3 in a row, and without him they lost 3 in a row, do you think there's any correlation between that?
I mean, I was watching the game yesterday with my uncles, and that's the thought that came to my mind. I'm like, is it really Michael Carter-Williams that's making the difference between winning and losing? But, you know, as amazing as he is, he's not a Jimmy Butler. He's not a Dwayne Wade. So how could he be the only factor that's causing them to lose? It's really frustrating.
To me, it's like, I think he brings something to the bench. Like, to have Isaiah Cannon be our primary point guard off the bench, it's like it kind of takes away from what he's good at, which is scoring, and you're making him to a playmaker. So I think in that sense, our bench is like, you know, depleted, that we don't have a true point guard off the bench. But I know what you're saying, though. It's not just Michael Carter-Williams. Like, the faults are coming from the starters. Like, they're you know, they start off like losing right away, and they put themselves in such a big hole, and they expect, you know, guys like, you know, Mirotic and McDermott to pull them out every single time.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And unless they're hot, it's not going to happen every time. And you know that better than anyone. The people who don't know this, Sub's a big-time basketball player, and he's a big-time shooter. And, you know, the day that you got your shot, you can rely on your shooters. But you can't rely on them every single night to pull you out of a game.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, those are the things where, you know, I was reading the stats. They lost by 7 points against Boston, right? No Al Horford. All right, so that was kind of concerning. And then at the Bulls game, you see Dwayne Wade. He really had to have a magical night for it not to be a huge blowout. You know what I'm saying? He had 35 points, 5 for 7. Do you like what you're seeing from Dwayne Wade?
I'm loving it. I call him Dwayne Allen. Like, he's flashing. He is really making that 3.
Yeah. Do you like how he's changed his game though? Do you think it's gonna like backfire like it did last night, where he went like 1 for 6 from the field?
Yeah, I think he's getting...
Oh, sorry, 1 for 9 from the field.
Yeah, he's getting really comfortable with this 3 because it's working, but I do feel that we need to see some flash, because we still know he has it. He was dunking last year. He was taking it to the rim, so I think we need to see a lot more of that this year as well.
Did you see that? I think that was on against the Knicks, where he went up for a dunk and then he ended up missing a dunk. I was just like, if he just got that,
awesome.
All those Derrick Rose haters would be just like going crazy. They'd be like, look, Derrick Rose couldn't dunk. Derrick Rose couldn't dunk. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, you know, like people were getting too happy when they're 3-0. I think people are getting too down when they're 0-3 in the last 3 games.
Yeah,
so
we just got to give them a break.
Yeah, I think within time, it's going to be like, going to even out. You know, I had them pegged at the 5th seed. Oh, where do you see them?
I had them, I mean, after the first 3, I was one of those individuals who were just getting really hyped. But I guess now my standards are, you know, settling down. So maybe around 4th, 5th seed.
4th, 5th seed? What were you thinking? 2nd seed before?
Yeah, I was getting up there, like maybe 3rd.
How about before the season started?
Before the season started, I knew they were going to make the playoffs. So before the season, it was around 5th seed.
Don't you think it was crazy when people were just like pegging, like saying that, oh, they're not going to be even a playoff team or something?
Yeah, that really frustrated me. And when they started winning the games, I was so happy because we were proving the haters wrong.
Right.
It was,
So I have a question for you now, and this question is going to be something that I think if I asked you this a week ago, maybe this will be more of a conversation.
Yeah.
But now, to me, it's still a conversation. But knowing that you're such a big Derrick Rose fan, do you think having Rajon Rondo in this system with a ball movement system, do you think he's an upgrade over Derrick Rose in that sense?
This is such a tough question because
he's a big Derrick Rose fan. I'm telling you.
You're messing with my heart and you're messing with like logic. I mean,
Okay, fine. From your heart, you're saying Rose, right?
Heart Rose.
Okay. All right. Now let's go for logic.
I mean, logic. I guess Rondo's doing a great job. The thing about it, if I had to put money on this, and I had to be like, let's say we're on ESPN or something, and I had to give an opinion to Stephen.
We're on the next best thing right now. All right.
All right. So if I had to give like my opinion to like Stephen A. Smith, or money had to go on the line,
right,
I would have to go with Rondo just because I feel that the team benefits more from him than Rose does. As in, the team is more pleased with Rondo, which means they're going to try to play better with Rondo than Rose.
Right, and I agree with you in a sense that, you know, you have Dwayne Wade, you have Jimmy Butler. So if you had to feed those 2 scoring guards, you know, you need a point guard who's willing to, you know, pass the ball. And not to say Derrick Rose is selfish, but, you know, he is known to be a scorer himself.
Exactly.
So it helps a lot that Rajon Rondo's not taking shots away from those other two. So, I mean, I completely agree with you.
And we see it on your page, too, man. Your page covers it all, like, in terms of the team bonding and stuff.
Right.
You see that the team is really bonding with it, and it makes me happy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I look at those videos, I'm like, you know, with all the drama that happened last year, it was kind of getting annoying. Like, I hate posting about the drama last year, but, you know, if it's news, you gotta post it, right?
Dude, I'm kind of just getting crazy. I'm just trying to realize a lot of my opinions are based on all the posts from your page.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It's
Including, like, Rondo backing up his teammates. That was on your page, and Shillings on your page. It's kind of crazy.
And thank you, man. Yeah. You know, I went to the Bulls game, and I put where I was gonna sit and stuff like that, and people came up and they're saying what's up to show some love. So, you know, I really appreciate that, awesome. And I really appreciate everyone coming through. So, you know, so right now I'm trying to keep this not too, I guess, only Bulls related.
Yeah.
Because Sub has, you know, a good knowledge of around the NBA. Because you've met some players yourself, so I mean, I don't want to take anything of that away from you. So I want to play a little game with you right now.
Sure.
It's called 5-on-5, right? So I'm gonna ask you, who are your top 5 players to watch right now in the NBA who are current? The reason I'm asking you this is because I know, had I said of all time, I think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all of
course,
you know, will come about. So I want to ask about who's your top 5 right now.
Russell Westbrook guaranteed.
Yeah.
James Harden.
Okay.
Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Now it gets tough, right? Because you have LeBron James. I mean, if you watch LeBron James, you already get Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
So you can get them 2 in 1. And then the last one is very tough, but I'll give it to somebody.
Wait, so did you give it to LeBron or did you give it to Kyrie?
Well, we can go with Kyrie. LeBron had
okay.
LeBron's always going to kill it.
Because I don't want you to cop out and end up. Okay, all right,
we'll go with Kyrie.
All right, good.
And then I guess the 5th one, which is somebody who I'm picking on the spot only because this man is absolutely killing it. Right? If I had my choice, I'd pick anybody else. I'd pick Butler, or I'd pick George or Damian Lillard. But this man is killing it, so I'm gonna go with DeMar DeRozan.
Damn. I like that. Like I was expecting you to say something like Paul George or something.
Yeah, I would never say that. But
or Kevin Durant or Steph Curry or someone like that.
He's just killing it. I mean,
yeah,
that's not like my top 5 team.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna give you my top 5, and so my number 1 is LeBron James.
Of course.
I think anytime he's on TV, and I know as a Bulls fan, it's like, what are you talking about, LeBron James? No, I mean if you love basketball, you're gonna love his game, right? So LeBron James. Number 2 is Russell Westbrook. Of course. Especially this season.
Yeah,
like, how do you not watch this dude? If he's on TV, I'm watching him, right?
Yeah.
Number 3, that was the hard one. I'm going to go with, and this is not a cop-out answer or anything, I'm going to go with Dwayne Wade. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's just so smooth. Like, I have to go with Dwayne Wade. Number 4, I want to go with, let's see. Number 4, I want to go with Anthony Davis. Especially this season where he's killing it, absolutely killing it. I mean, he's just a monster on the boards. And number 5, I want to say, and I hate saying this, but I want to say Steph Curry. I had to pick between Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Okay. I was like, you know what? I had to watch either one of them. Yeah. So it's like whoever I say, it doesn't really matter between the two because you're watching the same team.
Yeah.
But and I want to ask you one more thing before we go. Before we actually do the Q&A. Sorry. I want to ask you, if you were to build your all-time 5 starting lineup, what would it be?
All time.
All time. Like, it has to be a point guard. It can't be one of those tweener people where you're like, oh, let me put like 4 small forwards in. You know, it can't be one of those. You have to pick.
Sure. That's a tough one, but Magic Johnson.
Of course.
We can go with. Okay, so Kobe can play the 3.
No,
he played the 3 last year.
Listen. I won't be mad if you pick Kobe over Jordan. I won't be mad at that.
I'll play both of them.
Okay. So well, they're not. I told you, you have to pick one. You have to pick one.
I'm gonna go Kobe.
You're gonna go Kobe? All right. So like that's what I'm saying. Like this is the biggest Kobe fan I know.
But I mean.
Yeah. No, it's a cool.
I'm not saying that Kobe's better than Jordan. This is just my personal.
Listen, basically, you're the only person in the world that picked Kobe over Jordan. But that's okay because you're unique like that. Okay. So you got Magic Johnson.
Kobe.
That's all Lakers right now.
Now we had to get LeBron, of course.
Of course, okay.
And then at the 4, this is a huge one. At the 4, a dominant 4, we can go with, Tim Duncan.
I like it. Okay.
And then Shaq, of course, with the 5.
Shaq, of course.
Guaranteed.
Okay. I got Magic like you, even though I love Jason Kidd. I got Jordan like everyone else in the world. Now it's between LeBron and Scottie Pippen. I'm picking LeBron. Number 4, I got Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Because if you have that many scores, you need rebounders. And number 5, I'm gonna go with Hakeem Olajuwon. Just because, just because I love his game. That's it. I know Shaq is probably better. So now with that, I appreciate everyone who's watching and enjoying it. SubTheGamer is always entertaining. I'm gonna do the Q&A. We're just gonna do a few questions because we're short on time here. So let's see. This is from Kenny Burnt. I think I like I always say, I think I butchered you guys' names. Do you think the Bulls should have Rose one last to see if he can produce? Well, one last chance to see if he can produce. And do you think Bulls organization will regret getting rid of him?
I'm sure they'll regret getting him, just because, for example, I believe the first game wasn't even sold out for an opener. And maybe Rose could have been that factor. As optimistic as I am to say that Rose is going to come back next year, most likely.
I know you mentioned that before. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I do see it maybe when he's in his 30s coming back. Maybe.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that. That was one of my questions I had scheduled for you. That asked you if you think Derrick Rose is going to be returning as a Bull. But I was like, you know what? I don't know if I should.
I think he'll come back, and I think Chicago's going to love him with Anthony Davis. So.
Right. Hopefully one day he will come back. It'll be a nice story, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Junior Flores, who's the most improved player on the Bulls in the these first 6 games?
First 6 games, most improved player. I mean, I can't really say. I mean,
it's hard because there's a bunch of new players.
Yeah.
I think there's 9 out of the 15 are new players.
Exactly. I mean, you could say Taj, but Taj has always been good. He just doesn't have that time. So I'm gonna go with Doug. I mean, after that Doug shooting performance, game 3, I believe. He really improved. He was comfortable. He's
definitely spotty to me. If he has it going, he's amazing now. He's not just a shooter. He's a scorer now.
He drives.
So so I mean, I would agree with you. Let's get a few more questions in. Jay Coben, could Dwayne Wade become involved in the MVP talks if he keeps up his scoring, and when the team gets back on track? Before I give you this one, I want to let you know that Dwayne Wade went 1 for 9. So putting that in mind.
I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, when you have Russell Westbrook averaging 30
pretty much.
It's not gonna happen.
There's a lot to compete with when it comes to that. This one's nice. Alonzo Valdez. Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite NBA player and why? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna adjust this question. I'm gonna say current favorite player.
Current favorite.
Because if it's not current, it's Kobe Bryant. Cause he just picked Kobe Bryant over Michael Jordan. So, all right.
I mean, that's so hard to pick. I mean, Derrick Rose has always been my MVP, and I'm always gonna support him. Let's do beside Derrick Rose.
Okay, besides Derrick Rose.
Beside Derrick Rose, if I had to pick a favorite player, it would probably be somebody who I love. Russell Westbrook. He has that Mamba mentality, but right now I'm gonna go with somebody who is often neglected in the NBA, and that's Damian Lillard.
Ooh, I like it, man. Yeah. I like it.
He's neglected so much, man.
My favorite outside would be. I don't want to say it. I don't even know.
It's hard, dude.
It's hard.
Just off the.
I mean, LeBron James is too much fun to watch.
I could say LeBron James too. It's hard.
Okay. I have one question for you before I'm gonna end it. There's not a question on the page.
Sure.
Do you think Fred Hoiberg will be fired in the next 2 years?
If they don't.
Or will he be the coach that the Bulls want him to be?
If they don't pass the second round, then he's gone. They have to at least first make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, he might get by this year. But if next year they don't get next year when they have the chance to sign Blake Griffin and other free agents, if they don't make it past the second round, he's gone.
Did you hear that, Garpax? SubTheGamer saying that he only has until second round before he gets fired. I kind of agree with you. I think he has 1 more year left, or maybe 2 years. But if he doesn't get past the second round, he's as good as gone at this point. Because I don't think he's attracting any free agents himself.
Exactly.
So with that, I'm going to be ending off the 3rd episode I think we're on. I thank SubTheGamer for coming on, taking his time out of his busy day.
It's all you.
So I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. It was very natural because whenever I talk to you about basketball, it's ignore the camera. It's just us just talking. Chilling, So again, I appreciate it, and thank you all for watching it, and stay tuned for the 4th episode. Peace.